Welcome back viewers, you're watching Forza Versus and I'm Pat. Today we look at 16 cylinders and 8 gears of classic American automotive arms race weaponry. In the left corner we have the Boss 429 from the Ford Mustang family, and in the right we have the Z28 Camero from Chevrolet. These are historically interesting cars for different reasons, but let's get into the Mustang first. Introduced in '69, the Boss 429 Mustang was a case of Ford wanting to get its engine through homologation for race use. This meant they had to somehow use a few crowbars and a lot of elbow grease to drop it in front of something, like a Mustang body. In between having to widen the front struts and rework the suspension to get the engine to fit, they found that non-racing stuff just wouldn't go in, like air conditioning or an FM circuit on the radio. But that's okay. No one wants to listen to AM radio when you have 7 litres coursing through the frame and out the twin rear pipes. So we'll now take a moment to just appreciate what that sounds like. The Boss apparently makes around 375 horsepower, but the stated figures and the detuned race specification engine call that bluff. Despite the 4-speed manual, this car manages over 230 km per hour on the NASCAR circuit, and the needle rests calmly off the dial as it eats up the laps. It's certainly Mustang at a glance, but it's the finer details that set it aside from the siblings. But for now, let's have a look at the Camaro. The Z28 falls into the second generation of its family tree, and it looks something of a black sheep of the family. It doesn't feel engineered like their flagship Corvette, and while it was made to take a large range of engines, the options were somewhat uninspired. The platform is cut from the same cloth as the widely recognised Firebird from Pontiac, what with falling under the General Motors banner. Yet, in spite of its rocky childhood, the Camaro helped get Chevrolet off its back foot against the Mustang, and as the years went on, its modern-day children won the puberty lottery. The Z28 is more about what's inside. The dials were big and friendly, it had a cozy, no-frills interior, and the ergonomics were fine. Performance was understated in the Z28. Even with its V8, it never felt out of line or excessive. This could translate as not being as much fun, but it's a solid overall package, and despite being a touch longer than the Mustang, they are close in terms of wheelbase at about 274 centimeters. But without the surplus of torque, the Z28 feels more of a car of action, and inspires more confidence when you want to actually turn it. Though not as quick as the Mustang, you can reach the Z28's rev limit at a comfortable 200 km an hour. The trick is in the fact that it's comfortable there. You want more, but you don't really need it, which frees up your mind to worry about other things, like how cold the AC is making you. When the Z28 fails to surprise, it delivers on expectations. The engine sounds fine, it pulls okay, you can throw it about without too much fuss, and it won't bite you. When I first started this review, I thought, I wonder what the Z28 is actually like. And then I remembered I don't actually care, and I base the score on impressions and my own biased opinions. So let's get on to the scoring phase. I give the Boss 429 a 6 out of 10. I like the old look Mustangs. I love the low idle of a Ford V8, and aside from minor styling cues, you'd be forgiven for thinking it's just another Mustang. What I don't like about it is that maybe it's a bit too much engine. I mean, they had to break out the cutting tools to make it fit. Widening American muscle car? Who signed off on that idea? And the fact that it's still a Mustang. Changing the meat and adding some sauce really isn't going to help if the bread still isn't that great. For the Z28, I have to give it a 3. I like that it is sensible, and I like its bloodline led on to great kids. It raised them well, but it still has a face only a mother could love. And when you're going through a midlife crisis, you're either going to take its cousin to tailgate trucker friends, or its bigger brother out drinking and picking up chicks. It's just the nerd of the party, which isn't to say that it's bad, but it's not bringing the ladies home. So that's the score. I'd rather have a Corvette between these two, but even with how rare the Boss is, I would still prefer it over the Z28. I just feel more gravity toward it. The Z28 doesn't really stir any strong emotion aside from an aversion to its face. Once again, I thank you for watching today, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm Pat, and remember, enjoy the drive.